What is going on, my Super Saiyan? Which is Rhymestyle, and today we have a very interesting topic based on Chapter 4 of the manga. So there's going to be a small spoiler. So if you didn't read that yet, be aware of that. But it's not a huge spoiler, just a small thing that happens at the end of it. And how about we start with Geekdom to kind of break down what we're going to discuss. Geekdom, what you got?
So here's what's going on. So ever since Super started, one of the things that the fandom have been talking about, you know, ad nauseum is, will we see fusion come back? Now, we've seen Gotenks fuse. People are talking about Goku, Vegeta, or maybe even Gohan and somebody. Well, I personally was very skeptical of them using fusion again. However, with Chapter 4 of Toyotaro's manga adaptation of Super, there is some new evidence that may actually prove that this is now a possibility. We found out, and again, spoiler alert for the manga, we don't know if it's going to happen in the anime yet, but definitely in the manga, that Kaioshin and Kibito-Shin or KibitoKai, whatever you want to call them, actually use the Namekian dragon to summon. They summon the Namekian dragon and they use it to defuse. So these guys were stuck together with the Potara fusion, and now they are defused. They are back to being two different characters. So that begs the question, now that we've seen 100% confirmed from the Toyotaro manga that the dragon can indeed have the power to defuse a Potara fused character, will we see Vegito come back? I know a lot of people want to see it, and I'll just say one more thing. The only other evidence I have now to support that this is actually going to happen is the events of Resurrection F, how one of the things they hammered home in that film was, if Goku and Vegeta teamed up, they would have easily wiped out Frieza. If Goku and Vegeta worked together, they would have easily wiped out Frieza. I feel like they're foreshadowing something. I feel like someone's going to come along where they're going to have to possibly either do finger fusion from the Metamorians or do Potara fusion and then later on defuse. And now I think that this idea has exploded now. Now I think it's more of a possibility than it ever was before.
And obviously, this is probably Universe 6, if anything, because we know how Resurrection F Saga is pretty much going to play out. But yeah, now that we know that fusion can be split, or Potara fusion can be split with the dragon, the question is will we see a Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegito fusion sometime in the series? And how about I just jump in, since I kind of just jumped in? Honestly, I am going to say no. I don't think we're going to see a Vegito again for a couple of reasons. The main reasons why is because true warriors fight alone. Ever since after they defused in the Kid Buu saga, or the Kid Buu fight, I don't think Goku and Vegeta are ever going to fuse ever again, no matter how badly they need it. I mean, they needed it badly in that Kid Buu fight, and they still didn't do it. And I feel like also from what we saw at the end of Resurrection F, when they were like, hey, we should team up more, and, you know, both Vegeta and Goku were like, nah, we're never going to team up. Like, these guys are true warriors, and they will not, you know, they will not let their pride, you know, fall apart for a fusion so they can, you know, fight. Especially with how strong they've gotten with the Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan transformation. I feel like if anything, they'll figure out a way to just get strong through training to defeat whoever they're trying to fight. So I don't think we'll see a fusion, and I'm sticking with it. But
no, I respect that.
Kwame, what you got?
You respect that, I see.
No, I do. I have something to say, but you go first.
Well, the funny thing about all of this, Dino, I really hope you don't mind me playing the complete devil's advocate on you, but I completely disagree with what you said. And I have the complete opposite thought. And I actually think that Goku and Vegeta are most likely going to fuse because, as we've seen in many stories, when somebody implies maybe we should team up, that obviously means that obviously it's foreshadowing it, and also considering the fact that this is showing that they can use the Potara fusion. They could use the dragon to defuse them, and that would obviously mean they would have rings. Actually, no, they wouldn't have rings now. That means that they could at least go through some type of fusion in general. Now, the reason I've always felt, Dino, that the Goku and Vegeta never fused again was because of the fact that they were never really put in a situation where they needed it too much. For example, Kid Buu, even though he was still very strong, Goku felt that he could probably take him out at a Super Saiyan 3 state, so that's why they kind of decided to fight alone. But for Super Buu, they had no choice.
Yeah, right.
And I think that when you look at it from the case of Frieza, they probably both felt that they could stop Frieza individually, which they could if Goku didn't screw up. So, with all of that said, I think that if there's a villain who's so much stronger than them, and obviously Goku and Vegeta are the second and third strongest characters next to Piccolo, that would obviously mean that they would obviously have to fuse, in order to, defeat a villain like that. If, unless Piccolo decides to take off his weight and clothing and take care of it himself. So those are my overall thoughts, and I'm sorry for playing devil's advocate.
Well, no, that's why we're here. But I did. Go ahead, Dean. I was going to add.
This is why these discussions are good when we all have opposite opinions. That's why I love this community. Like we all have our own thoughts, and that's why I love seeing what people think. So at any point, if you guys think that Vegeta what happened or Gogeta what? No, most of Vegeta's because of the Patera aliens being able to be split. Whatever you think is going to happen, let us know in the comment section below. But Geekdom, what you got?
No, what I was going to actually add to that is, our last video, which was on your channel, the which character should die, I could totally see a scenario where both Beerus and Whis are wiped out by some kind of... We're talking about a character that is so freaking evil and so powerful that he makes Frieza look like Pilaf, like one of these kind of characters that they haven't introduced yet. And at that point, it's going to be one of those situations where, just like with Buu in the Buu saga, Goku and Vegeta might not want to fuse, but they remember the lessons that they learned from their last master Whis, and they realize...
That's a really good one.
Yeah,
that's a really good point.
If we don't fuse... And this guy has to be so powerful that he is legitimately a danger to all 12 universes. We're talking about a villain that's like beyond even Omega Shenron.
Well, don't you think if all 12 universes were in danger, that all the gods across the entire realm would come together for that?
Yes, and that would be awesome, bro. But what if this guy has been able to defeat them somehow, and the only thing they can do is create an SS God, SS Vegito, and here's the thing that people misunderstand about Vegito, all right? If you go back and watch the Buu saga, there's a lot of fans that have this weird thing about, oh, Vegito, he's overrated in strength. No, you don't understand. During that entire fight with Buu, Vegito could have killed Buu in seconds.
Easily.
And he did. And that's Majin Ubu, I'm sorry, Majin Ubu. That's Buhan. that's Buu with everybody absorbed. So the power of Vegito that we saw in Dragon Ball Z is not even him in his full potential, because yes, he could do SSJ3 if he wanted to. Right. He could rip through dimensions. I mean, this guy, Vegito, is ridiculously powerful. So can you imagine a Vegito with God Ki? Yeah, I just, dude, it would be a battle so epic. Dude, if Toriyama wants to end his career, like, obviously the guy's always going to be on top because he's freaking Toriyama, but if he wants to really end this thing with a bang, that would be the ultimate battle, bro, where it's this...
That would be super badass. Super badass. I'm not going to lie. I would love to see that happen. I just feel like, based on how Goku and Vegeta's characters are, that we won't see that. But then again, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, it would have to be something where the whole existence of time and space is in danger, bro, not just the Earth. We can't use the Dragon Balls this time. We have to win,
Dude, This reminds me, remember when they had that fake villain going around that everybody thought was going to be in Dragon Ball Super?
Maybe it could be him, I don't know.
Cringe-worthy.
Oh my God.
That image is just so bad.
You said in the interview you did with me, which hasn't gone up yet as of this, that your favorite game was Final Fantasy VIII, and Ultimisia had that weird plot where she wanted to compress time. What if that's what's going on? What if this villain wants to screw up the existence of all the universes? They're going to have to do something drastic.
Yeah.
It could happen now. Now I think there's more of a possibility than ever before. I'm not saying it will, but it could.
Yeah. So that wraps up our thoughts, and we want to hear it from you guys now. Do you think we'll see Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegito, or just Vegito in general towards the end of Dragon Ball Super? Why or why not? Let us know in the comment section below. This is good. This is a fun topic. I can't wait to read everyone's comments because I want to see what everybody thinks here. This is a good one. It's a really good one.
Yes.
Anything else you guys want to add before we end this?
Not really.
No, I'm excited. And just one thing I wanted to add is I think it would also be cool if we eventually see like Beerus and Champa fuse. They could do all kinds of stuff with the fusion. I know a lot of fans love fusion, and like I said,
it's a real popular part of Dragon Ball Z.
It's massive. And the other thing too, don't forget this one. If they put out some God Vegito toys, that's gonna sell. That's gonna sell some toys. I'll buy it.
I'll buy 20.
Yeah, that's what, and that's the bottom line, bro. You gotta sell toys. So
I mean,
that's
they can still release those toys, like matter of fact, didn't they release like a Super Saiyan God color Gogeta? Or am I tripping? I think I'm tripping.
No, you're probably SJ4. But the thing is, if they don't do it in Super, they might do it in freaking Dragon Ball Heroes. Because Dragon Ball Heroes is just pure freaking fan service. They add characters that don't even make sense. Teen Gohan SSJ3's in there. All right.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, so let us know in the comment section below what you guys think, and I don't know. Let's just see what happens, I guess. You know, Dragon Ball Super still has quite a bit of episodes to go before we see Universe 6 or any of that stuff. So let's keep being patient, watch every single week, and let's see what happens. So fingers crossed there. Kwaman, you know what to do. Let's go ahead and end this Kwaman Rhymestyle Geekdom weekend strong with the most infamous outro there is.
Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And remember, as I always say, to have a fucking-tastic day, guys.
Stay as a YouTuber,
Adios.
bro. Don't go on American Idol. Stay as a YouTuber.